Tiger Woods recovering from an hours-long surgery to repair multiple open fractures to his lower right leg and ankle following the car accident yesterday in Los Angeles. Tiger alert and responsive following the completion of that surgery last night, which is the last update we've received from Tiger's team. Now, this is yet another major surgery added to a long list of major surgeries. Before this, it was that spinal fusion surgery of 2017 that was, as you see, in bold because it was so big for Tiger. But he was just 2 months removed from his 5th back surgery. And coincidentally, that 5th back surgery, exactly 2 months prior to yesterday's crash and subsequent leg surgery. So let's bring in CBS News medical contributor, Dr. David Agus. Doctor, thank you for joining us here. Can you let us know what specific injuries Tiger Woods sustained yesterday in that rollover crash?
Well, mainly was his right leg below the knee, and the tibia, which is that front bone on the leg, had several breaks in it, and these were clean breaks. So much so that they had to put a rod within that tibia and then pin that rod down so that the bone could heal in a straight way. There were also multiple fractures in other bones, including in the ankle, and each of those required screws or plates in order to keep it in place. And then after that trauma, the muscles get so inflamed and they're within a compartment that you have to actually slice open the compartment to relieve the pressures. This is real major surgery that will have a significant recovery period.
Oh, what kind of recovery is Tiger looking at here in the days, weeks, and months leading ahead?
Well, over the next few days, what we're waiting for is the inflammation, the swelling to go down, to be able to close up his leg. Because right now, those muscles are open to the air to allow the inflammation to go down. And once they can close it up, there will be healing. And hopefully over 4 to 6 months, those bones will heal to enable him to start doing real weight-bearing exercise. And, you know, learning to walk here is going to be a big step forward. And obviously, this is Tiger Woods. He is going to recover from this, and he'll do a lot more than just walking, but it will take time.
And so obviously the big question is, now that we know he's survived and he's going to make a recovery, $1 million question, is he going to be able to golf again? In your medical opinion, do you think that's going to happen?
To the truth is, I just don't know. I mean, I'm not primarily involved in the case. I'm only hearing what the doctors are reporting, and I actually spoke to one of the doctors. And so, you know, unless I've actually seen it and watched what happens, it's hard to know. My gut is it certainly would be possible. The problem is he's older. He's been going through a lot already. Getting over this back surgery and coming back to play would be heroic right there. You couple this, I don't think he's going to be able to play professional golf in the future. I hope he can play with his children in a way that he enjoys.
Certainly hope for that as well. We saw him golfing with his son in his last tournament a couple of months ago before that 5th back surgery. Now, he's had multiple operations on that back, the spinal fusion surgery, which was an extreme measure to take. How could those surgeries and those injuries and all that scar tissue in his back affect, you know, what lies ahead for him in the rehab with his legs?
Well, rehab is tough. I mean, and many of us have broken legs and been on crutches and, you know, having to learn and use your hands to give you some stability. Well, it's harder for Tiger after that back surgery to do any of the components of rehab we're talking about now. So this is going to be tough. I mean, he is an elite athlete. He's going to rise to the occasion. And, you know, certainly I think he's going to have a recovery here. The question is will he be his old self? And I doubt he's going to be his old self, but I think he's going to be able to get to a point where he can function and do the things he likes with the people he likes.
All right, let's go kind of day by day here. What are the next couple of days looking like for Tiger Woods, and what kind of state would you expect him to be in? You mentioned the open wounds, the muscles that are exposed to the air.
So right now they would put a nerve block onto that leg. So he's not going to feel that pain. And so, you know, by enabling that to happen, he can not be on heavy doses of narcotics, and he can be, you know, talking to friends and family. The key is that this is able to heal and there's no infection during that healing. And that's really what we're watching for over the next week. Is all of those screws to take place, not be rejected by the body, and there to be no infection. Because when those bones broke and there was lacerations to the skin, bacteria can get in. It's a portal for them to get in. And so the hope is that none of them are taking hold, and this will be a clean healing.
Right now, it's just recovery. It's rest, recover, but soon we hope it's rehab. You know, up and about, learning to walk again. What is that going to look like?
Well, there are ways to accelerate bone recovery, and I'm sure all of those will be done. And then the hope is he can start to put some weight on the leg. It's going to take a while, right? I mean, when you have clean breaks, those bones need to start to go together and to heal before you could put significant weight on them. And so it'll take a while before he can get to real weight-bearing exercise and real rehab for that leg. And then obviously working on the leg, the muscles, all of them to get them to a shape where he can start to perform some of the activities he wants to do.
Obviously, we're talking general here, your medical opinions, because you've seen injuries like this in the past. You told us that you believe he'll be able to golf with his kids again, but probably won't be able to golf competitively again. At least the chances are very low for that. When do you think would be, a time frame? Are we talking over a year from now that he may be able to pick up a club again, or are we talking more in terms of months?
I would imagine 6 to 9 months. He will be out in some form with his club, walking around. It's not going to be to a level that we expect from an elite athlete, and it will be many months of rehab after that to get to back where he was. You also have that rehab from the back, which is ongoing, and he had several months more rehab necessary of that back to get back to a level where he can actually use the back in some athletic competitions. So there's significant work ahead, but I think he's got the resolve to do it, and he will do it.
You know what a competitor he is, and we're certainly not going to count Tiger Woods out, that's for sure. We've done it before. We won't do it again. CBS News medical contributor Dr. David Agus joining us here, giving us some perspective and his medical opinion on the injuries to Tiger Woods. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.